Here.
Hahn,
Here.
Monahan.
Here.
Pearl.
Here.
I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
First thing that we have on this evening's agenda is we do have a citizen wishing to address the city council. Mr. Collins, sir.
Yeah,
Yes.
I was just wondering about the job out there at Emos, how that guy got terminated from the job and he had TIF money in the job. What's gonna happen with that now? The
Who
money
got fired? I don't know what you're talking about.
The Randy guy out there got fired out there at Emos.
Don't know anything about it.
Do you know anything about it?
Well, he didn't get fired. Emo had changed a little bit of the work out there and started putting up some walls, and then there was a disagreement between the installer of the heating cooling system
Okay.
and Emo. And so he gave Emo kind of an ultimatum: I want more money or I'm not going to finish the job. He put that in writing. I told Emo to take it to his attorney, so I don't know where that's at right
Okay.
now. So other than that.
I don't have an answer for you then on the question. First I've heard about it, so.
I mean, the way the TIF works is we reimburse once work's
Once the work's
Yeah.
completed.
We don't really take part in any of the contracting or anything like that.
So how do they choose a contractor in the TIF? I mean,
TIF doesn't, Emo would choose the contractor.
they choose their own contractors through that?
The business owner applies for TIF money. Once we grant it, they go and they get the work done. I mean, we don't micromanage or.
So you don't have to check to see if the guy's licensed, insured, nothing like that?
He's supposed to, that's all on the man that does the hiring. And they don't receive any money until the job's complete. Emo won't receive any.
Yeah, until it's got a paid in full receipt.
Yeah.
They get reimbursed from it.
Yeah.
Just curious how it works.
Oh, very good. Thank you, sir. And we move on to section 1.
Make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I'll second.
Call it.
Jenkins.
Yes.
Harding.
Yes.
Hahn,
Yes.
Monahan.
Yes.
Pearl.
Yes.
Motion carried.
That moves us straight into section 3.
I'd like to make a motion to approve resolution 2013-9, the Walsh Farm Agreement.
Discussion?
This is basically an automatic renewal built into the original lease that has been in place for several years. Either party can opt out. Mr. Walsh could opt out, but he hasn't shown an interest. He's come in and shown an interest. So it's just a matter of if the city wants to renew the agreement with Mr. Walsh.
The only question I had on it was, say we wanted to opt out at any time. Is that? I mean, say we had somebody came in.
There is a clause, yes, there is a clause in case something goes on out there, yes.
Okay, so we're not locked in.
In
Okay,
the original lease.
thank you.
Any other discussion? Call it.
Harding,
Yes.
Hahn,
Yes.
Monahan,
Yes.
Pearl.
Yes.
Jenkins.
Yes.
Motion carried.
I'd like to make a motion to approve ordinance 915, the lease purchase agreement of a 2013 Ford 450.
I'll second.
Discussion.
I think I said at the last council meeting, or maybe 2 council meetings ago, the dire condition that the one dump truck was in that the city is using, and so I've been doing a little legwork on that since then. I gave you a little history on the city manager's report that it was a used truck from Tazewell County when it was purchased many, many moons ago. But this truck is a F-450 Super Duty diesel. It's going to be around for a long time. You see, we got 23 years or 26 years or whatever out of the truck that we're currently using. We'll transfer the snowplow frame, and there is a salt spreader. It should all transfer over to the new truck. And with the 90 to 120 day window to get this thing going, it'll be late summer before we can get this thing up and operational after delivery. I went down here to the bank, got an interest rate down here at our bank, at Heartland Bank, for 5%. Ford Motor Company, which I thought would give us a better deal, actually shot us an interest rate of 6%. So the better deal is keep the money here in town.
That was for 5 years, right?
Yes. And obviously what we'll do is with the 90, 120 days, there's not a payment until then, so we'll work this $8,800.12 into the budget.
Other questions, discussion?
Yeah, is this so, on that issue? No.
Just on this, yes, on this issue.
Okay, no. Not on that issue.
Okay, not on that issue. Call it.
Han,
Yes.
Monahan,
Yes.
Pearl,
Yes.
Jenkins,
Yes.
Harden,
Yes.
motion carries.
Do you need a question?
Yes, we do.
I'd like to make a motion to go into executive session 5 ILCS 120/2C5 to discuss the purchase or lease of real property for the use of public body.
Second.
Call it.
Monahan,
Yes.
Pearl,
Yes.
Jenkins,
Yes.
Harden,
Yes.
Han,
Yes.
motion carries.
Very good. We will be. You ready?
Oh, yes.
We are now in open session. Section 4, other items. City manager's report.
There's a couple things on there. Obviously, you see that we're going to be letting mowing bids. We'll be advertising for them, and I believe that we've already had one person come in and pick up a packet. There's just 4 areas that we let that out for bid on an annual basis. Well number 5, the Luck well, which was destroyed by a fire there last summer, just right before our summer drought. The building's up, the well's been pressure tested, it's passed the CPA inspection for water quality. The guys ordered a water meter as soon as they can get the water meter in, and they might have done that today. That well will be back in full operation, so we really could have used that last summer. All the costs out there so far have been covered by an insurance claim. The power plant sent a 45-day notice to IMEA regarding the outage of unit number 5 to get the catalyst installed. There's going to be approximately a 2-week window on the installation of the catalyst. You see that it came in at $59,268. I think the other proposal from a company was up in the 80,000 benchmark, so this one was considerably less cost. Rick anticipates that everything's going to go pretty smooth with getting that thing in there. Then we're going to have to figure out how to scrap the old one out, because basically you have to know it's like a giant oil filter, so there's going to be a little hazmat issue going on with that one. Tomorrow officially begins Tornado Preparedness Week with a winter snowstorm coming in. And originally, if you haven't heard, that there was going to be a statewide actual tornado drill tomorrow. Illinois was going to be the only state allowed to put across, when they did the bulletin across the screen, there was going to be a line go across with the words tornado, tornado, tornado. But they've since canceled that. And the siren drills were going to be on Wednesday because of the impending snowstorm. So if you don't hear the sirens blow tomorrow, don't panic in DeWitt County, because they're actually going to be on Wednesday. But dealing with that, the city several years ago went to the Nextel telephones, and they started using two-way communications. We got away from FM radios. Nextels have a tendency to fail. Pretty crappy service, quite frankly. And so I've ordered some FM radios to get back for Public Works and the electrical and everybody. So we've got a backup system here. So I just ordered a couple to see how it's going to work out. And if the radio is of any quality, then we'll expand on that. We talked at the last meeting, I believe, about there was a question about a pedestrian crossing to go down to Salt Creek. We've had people in here about getting new playground equipment out there. So obviously we're focusing on South Park. What are we going to do with kids on bicycles? What are we going to do about people walking down the road? So I got hold of Craig Fink, and I ran this past him. And I don't know if you folks remember, but several years ago, and I see Terry Craddock's out there in the audience, and he may remember this. There was a girl on a bicycle that did get hit by a car. She was severely hurt. So anyway, I ran this past Craig Fink, and Craig's like, well, you don't want to encourage people to walk on the bridge. And I said, well, Craig, we're past that. It's the only way to get there. We're on the bridge now. So now what we have to do is we have to assume the responsibility of warning the motorists that there are bicyclists on the bridge and that there are pedestrians on the bridge, and I think that that's the city's obligation, which he did agree to that point. So he's had to contact IDOT. There are rules for putting up signs, and we're running across several different signs that would be appropriate to put out there. One of the questions would be, would you want a flashing warning light with the sign? I don't know how far you want to go with this, but if you do, we have to get a special permit from Craig Fink, the highway department, to get that done. He knows that there's not any sidewalk out there, so that's something that we could address later, but at least to get these signs up going across the bridge. I've talked to Rick. Rick says that they could get power to the signs. If we put signs out there, we could put up the solar warning lights if that's what you'd want to do, but they're about $2,500, so they get kind of ritzy when the kid stands out there with his BB gun and destroys them. So, but anyway, I wanted to run that one past you. I think that will end up happening. It's going to be a matter of waiting on Craig Fink to get back with us. Other than that, I don't know if you saw in the headlines of the Panagraph about a week ago, it said something to the effect, Wirtz picks Lexington. And if you remember correctly, Ed Munsell sat in the audience and he told you about Wirtz Distributing that was looking to expand in Bloomington, Illinois. And we had a meeting, and the mayor was in the meeting, and this was back during warm weather. And Ed Munsell was going after Wirtz Distributing to come to Farmer City. Wirtz picked Lexington over Bloomington Normal. Lexington had 14 acres of land out there along the interstate that had their utilities already there. And so they picked the little town of Lexington there again over Bloomington. It just goes to show you that people say that we got 20 acres out here and it's really not worth anything, because people won't pick small towns. But here is a large manufacturing or a distributing company. I didn't realize, but they own the Chicago Blackhawks, and they picked a small town of Lexington. So other than that, guys have been cleaning catch basins. There was a complaint about that the last council meeting. They've been out doing that. I don't know if you've been out seeing them. They plowed a bunch of snow in the last couple of weeks, so they've been very active. So.
Any questions to the city manager and/or his report?
I do have a question. First, regarding South Park. What is the speed limit? Is it 30 going down that road by
Yes.
South Park right now?
Yes. That's established by DeWitt County Highway. It's a county highway.
Okay. What if, could we inquire with them if we could have the speed limit reduced there from that stretch out past the park?
You can inquire all you want.
Well, I'm just asking. I mean, it's a park, you know.
We put up signs that we put up park entrance signs once, and it didn't go over real well. So, I mean, I can ask Michelle, but I'll be honest with you, I don't know that it'll happen. Generally, to reduce speed, then you're going to have a traffic flow, traffic survey, and I mean, I can run that past Craig and see what he says. What do you think it should be?
They can reduce it down to 20, 15,
You won't get it that low. No,
okay,
20 school.
20, 25?
I don't know.
Just to install some of those, you know, little vibrate things, you know. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, like that.
Speed bumps.
Yeah, speed bumps, thank you.
Rumble strip?
Yeah, rumble strips. Thank you, appreciate that. Yes, people pay attention.
As I drove out there the other day, I was gonna extend my a mile run out there. Drove out there just to see how it looked, and I wasn't gonna run it. I mean, there's just not a lot of space on the side. I mean, you're in the road. So,
Well, let me go back, since you say that. We talked about the bridge. We talked about, could a pedestrian sidewalk be affixed to the bridge? The bridge is maxed out now for weight, and quite frankly, it's not probably the best structure in the state of Illinois. And Craig said that they don't have the money to replace it, which is understandable, that it would come in $1 million plus. And so I asked him about some type of pedestrian crossing, and he said you're easily looking at 200,000 plus to get something across that creek. But you won't attach anything to his bridge. It structurally is not sound enough to have something like that on it. So I did ask.
no other access from the community by the graveyard over here?
No.
Any other questions to the city manager and or his report?
Yeah, I'd like to, I'm under the understanding that Terry's got a commercial rate on his electric rate, and he would like to have that changed to a residential. Anybody know anything about that?
Well, I think that he did come in one day and they were going to look into the ordinance. And when I say they, I know that, I think he talked to Ruth that day. Ruth had either did or was going to get a hold of Rick to see exactly what that wording was. So I'll have to just follow up on that and find out for sure. Obviously, the front part would have to stay, could not go to the residential rate, front part being on the business. So we just have to look at
The
that.
property that you want to go resident, is that the front part or the back part?
Back part.
The back part? Okay,
Yeah, see if you can check on that.
Yes.
appreciate it. Any non-agenda items, other business? I think the city manager and I will be in Washington next week. We fly out Monday. There's a conference this week I was supposed to be at. My wife has got to go to the hospital, so Larry's going to take my spot. And that is in Peoria.
Not if it snows.
It's not snowing in Peoria, it's north. It's not logical, I know. Any other non-agenda items, other business? If not, we would entertain a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn?
I'll second it.
Call it?
Jenkins,
Yes.
Harden,
Yes.
Hahn,
Yes.
Monahan,
Yes.
Pearl,
Yes.
motion carries.
Meeting adjourned.